LudiCargo is the perfect answer to the 2005 metagame. As long as you are teched correctly, you don't really care what your matchup is. Let's start off with the incredible synergy between the two cards that give the deck its name, LudiColo and LudiCargo. Smooth Over allows you to search your deck for any card that you want and put it on top of your deck. And Swing Dance lets you draw an extra card every turn. By simply using Smooth Over and then Swing Dance, you get whatever card you want from your deck into your hand. You don't have to attack, you don't have to have a specific Pokemon in the active position, just your two core Pokemon in play at the same time. And that's not to say that LudiColo isn't good without the help of LudiCargo. They don't require one another to be in play, you just get a stupid good synergy by having both of them in play. Like most other decks in this format, you want to have a bunch of Pokemon in play to utilize their support Poke powers, to have alternate attackers ready, but also to make sure that Circular Steps slaps as hard as it possibly can, dealing up to 110 damage for 3 energy, because Circular Steps excludes LudiColo. On top of that, this deck is going to do a lot of healing. For 1 water energy, Healing Steps deals 30 damage, but also lets you heal based on the amount of cards you want to discard from your hand, removing 1 damage counter per card discarded. A fantastic answer to any deck using ATM Rock. Your opponent's not going to waste a turn devolving your LudiColo if it doesn't have any damage counters on it. We're also running a couple copies of Heal Energy. Your Lotads can heal with Rain Dish. Your Sad Lombres can heal with Rain Dish. A lot of built-in healing options to not only put your attacking Pokemon in a better position, but to depower the opposing ATM Rock. Between these two, you're going to be hitting for Water Weakness, Fire Weakness. Let's add some more. Electric Weakness can also be very relevant in this metagame when you're up against Gorobus builds or even in mirror matches against other LudiColos, especially when you are hitting as hard as Lightning Strike does after more easily powering it up after an energy grounding. When your active Pokemon is knocked out, you can move a basic energy onto Lantern, and then Lightning Strike's going to be powered up very quickly once you move it into the active position, because this deck is running Double Rainbow. With all these 3 energy attacks, yeah, we're running Double Rainbow. If you are expecting even a single matchup against Dark Tyranitar, you're also going to include Rhydon in this deck, another Stage 1 single prize Pokemon that can attack for 3 energy, hitting for a key weakness. Hyper Tail will OHKO a Dark Tyranitar. On top of that, Rhydon's Pokebody Power Diffusion is going to protect all of your benched Pokemon, and spread damage is something that Dark Tyranitar decks love to do. Not as common, but you will see builds utilizing 1 or more of the EX birds. Dropping one of these in the late game is an absolute bomb, as Legendary Ascent lets you enter play and go straight to the active position, and then move basic energy cards onto the bird so that you can pull off a massive attack. So decks that are water heavy and focus more on attacking with LudiColo may opt for Articuno. Decks that lean more towards Lantern will include a Zapdos. Or on the rare occasion, a deck will opt to focus more on LudiCargo and use Ninetales as an attacker with 1 copy of Moltres EX for the late game. The sample deck list on screen is definitely going more water heavy with a focus on healing. You see, we've got the 3-2-3 line of LudiColo with the 3 copies of Rare Candy to help you get there faster, the 2-2 line of LudiCargo for your power synergy, and then a 2-2 line of Lantern for your backup attacker. We do have the 1 Articuno EX as your late game finisher with a full playset of Dunsparce as your ideal starter Pokemon to help you get that set up. The 4 copies of Celio's Network to help you search out evolution cards, some search and draw power, a little bit of disruption, some tech cards like Strength Charm, ATM Rock, Swoop Teleporter, and then the 4 copies of Desert Ruins. If you're anticipating going up against a lot of EX decks, then yeah, you're going to go heavy on Desert Ruins, but alternatively, you can also throw Battle Frontier in here for even more metagame coverage. Over on the energy side, you see we got the 6 water energy in here for LudiColo, but also to transfer up onto Articuno when you want to drop that into play. 4 copies of Double Rainbow, which is going to be very important for this deck, As we've covered, there are a lot of attacks that cost 3 energy here. Firing those off as early as turn 2 and really putting your opponent on the back foot is part of the strategy here. 2 copies of Scramble energy and 2 copies of Heal energy that you will be using situationally. You do have room in this deck to go a little wild with your energy base because of that LudiCargo synergy that's going to let you go grab any card that you want. If there's a specific tool card you need, if there's a specific energy you need right now, you can have it. The reason we have a full playset of Celio's Network is so you can go and grab those Macargos and those Ludicolos, get them into play as quickly as possible, but also, once you have that synergy in play, you don't want to waste it grabbing more Pokemon. You want to use it to reach into your grab bag of one-off cards that's going to be best for your turn. In Magic, we always judge cards and decks by, is it good in the early game? Is it good in the mid game? Is it good in the late game? And this deck checks all of those boxes, because if you're ahead, you can grab the cards that are going to help you pull even further ahead. If you're behind, you can grab the cards that are going to help you take the lead. If you're right in the middle, well, you just play the game and allow the deck to do what it does best. Here's another list that is more optimized towards that Dark Tyranitar matchup. You'll see that 2/2 line of Rhydon replacing Lantern, and the 1 copy of Jirachi just as an excellent starter Pokemon, but you don't want to go too heavy on Jirachi just in case it gets shut down by Battle Frontier. You do have Swoop Teleporter in here so you can pull off the little Jirachi combo and get another one of your key basic Pokemon into play. Finally, let's look at the list that took 8th place at the 2005 World Championships, a list that does not appear to be optimized for any matchup in particular, and doesn't utilize any alternative attackers at all. This is a full Ludicolo deck. Of course, Macargo is still in the deck so that you can fully utilize that search synergy, but your only real attacking Pokemon's gonna be Ludicolo. You have Dunsparce in here for early game support and 1 copy of Wobbuffet to stall. The deck isn't even looking to hit your opponent for double damage, as evidenced by the 2 copies of Ancient Tomb. It'll stop your Ludicolos and Macargos from getting O-code, and it may have actually been genius to say, I don't care what the metagame is, this deck is fine on its own, just dealing a bunch of damage and healing when you need to. Why overcomplicate the build with a bunch of techs when Ludicolo is an amazing card all on its own? There are several LudiCargo lists in the top 32 at Worlds that year, but this is the only one to break into the top 8. I personally like the Rhydon build better. I feel more comfortable playing that deck, but I'm also a scrub that's getting nowhere near a top 8 at Worlds ever. My casual brain is kind of baffled by the simplicity in this list and how it stacks up against the other teched out lists. Now it is your turn. Tell me what you think the best build of LudiCargo is. What tech cards did I forget to mention? What are your experiences with the deck? Do you think the LudiCargo synergy is worth having in a deck, or do you think Pidgeot can just do it better? Fun fact about Ludicolo, it is the only grass-type Pokemon that can learn Fire Punch, and one of the 3 water types that can learn it. I guess this is also the video for Ludicolo Love, since he's not gonna show up in the metagame all that much more. Like, subscribe, watch more videos, all the YouTube stuff. I appreciate you watching this video, and I'll see you at the next one. Bye-bye.